The big, bad Blue Bomber defense bounces Ottawa, while Calgary's offense tames the BC Lions. Also ahead on the CFL Report, the best hits from Winnipeg and Calgary. We catch up with speedy Reggie Taylor of the Edmonton Eskimos. And our play of the week is really the Pits.
Dominoes are the game of choice in the Toronto Argo dressing room this week. And welcome to the CFL Report, everyone. I'm Gord Miller. The Argos are upbeat as they prepare for the Eastern Division Final against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
That's it. That's it. Going ahead.
Oh, thanks very much.
We're going to do Winnipeg.
I don't like my chances here, but we do like the Argos' chances against the Bombers. First up today, let's take a look at what happened last weekend in the Eastern Division semifinal. The Argos watching with intent as the Ottawa Rough Riders went to Winnipeg to take on the Blue Bombers.
Anything to keep warm. How about a little dance? Maybe even a little costume party. It was definitely another cold day in Winnipeg, but for the Ottawa Rough Riders to be successful, quarterback Damon Allen would need a hot hand. And running back Reggie Barnes would have to be at the top of his game. But Barnes and Allen met Tyrone Jones in the Bomber defense. A defense that thrives on punishing quarterbacks and causing turnovers. A defense that makes you nervous. A defense that just keeps coming. A defense where second effort is the law.
Everybody's back healthy, and I stand. Mickelwas is back. I've been back off of knee injury for a few weeks, and with guys like West and Battle back in the middle, and Randolph and Peyton on our side, we just a much improved defense, and we're forced to be reckoned with.
Make no mistake about it, the Winnipeg defense won this football game. Ottawa managed only 1 point in 3 quarters. They stopped Barnes, they stopped Allen, and in the process, they showed why they're the league's best.
See you in Winnipeg. We'll be back. We'll be back. We're coming to y'all. Don't worry about it. We're coming, baby. We're coming. Here we go.
The final score, Winnipeg and the Bomber defense 26, Ottawa 8. A big win for Bomber head coach Darryl Rogers as his team heads to Toronto for the Eastern Final.
And so for the 5th consecutive year, the Argos and Bombers will meet in the Eastern Division playoffs this year in the final. Joining us now is Argo quarterback Matt Dunnigan. Matt, you had a chance to see the Bomber defense take apart Ottawa last weekend. What do you think?
It was scary. It was an awesome display. Their defense was in high gear, and their offense did just enough to hang in there to win the football game. And we're going to need a better output offensively than what they had. And I think our defense is going to be similar to their type of defense, attack them, and should be a great matchup once again.
You had a chance to come back and play in the final regular season game after a long layoff. Do you feel like you're back and up to full speed?
Yeah, most of that's taken care of in practice, Gord, timing, and things of that nature. I feel like I'm on top of my football game. We've got most everybody healthy. The only concern was that Adam Reed and myself specifically had was whether or not our offensive line was going to be completely healed, and looks like for the most part they are. So we've got everybody intact and we're ready to go.
Now come on, tell us the truth. You two teams don't really like each other, do you?
There's not a whole lot of love between us. It's I don't know what it is. I think there's 2 different types of athletes on the team, personalities. For the most part, I just feel like it makes for good football, period.
Matt, thanks very much, and good luck on the weekend.
Thanks, Cord.
And as Matt mentioned, whenever the Argos and Bombers get together, there's plenty of ill will and plenty of good football.
season long, the Bombers and Argos have shown they don't like each other. But on the field, where it matters most, Toronto's won 2 out of 3 games this year. But last year it was a different story. The Bombers won every game, including the Eastern Final.
Well, we've had a look at last week's playoff game. We've had a look ahead to this week's Eastern Final. So the only question that remains is, who's it going to be this weekend? Me, I'm going with these guys for 2 reasons. I like their offense in the perfect conditions of Skydome, and I'm sitting in the middle of their dressing room. But for more on this weekend's game and who they think will win, let's hear from John Wells and Leif Pedersen.
Gord, I think these guys is not a bad choice as it comes down to looking ahead to the Eastern Final.
You know, Toronto at home, John, traditionally haven't lost a game all season long. I mean, I think that record speaks for itself. But you know the thing I like about Toronto, and I think you'll agree, even you, is their defense. I mean, everybody talks about the Rocket, Pinball, Dunnigan, all these guys, but the defense has really been the part of their team that has been most consistent all season long.
Yeah, and when you stack the Argo defense up against the Winnipeg offense, it might be a bit of a mismatch. I mean, the Bombers just aren't moving the football.
You know, last week's game against Ottawa, sure they won by a big margin, but you know, like from all respects, it was a brutal game. Like, it was not a fun game to watch, and I think against Toronto, Winnipeg's going to be in a lot different. You know, Toronto, I look at this Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day Toronto has their heaviest practice of the week, that might be their toughest day of the week.
Yeah, and it is easy to see why we are going with the Argos over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this weekend. 2 thumbs up from Leif and John. Our pick, the Argos in the Eastern Final.
With us now on the CFL Report, none other than the pinball, Mike Clemens. Now, Mike, I got to ask you this. Who's the best special teams player in the CFL?
Myself included, there's no doubt about it, is Henry Gizmo Williams. He's the most exciting, entertaining player in football anywhere.
That's funny you'd mention that, because this week he's at our Meet the Player segment on CFL Report.
Well, you better don't miss this, because he's colorful and entertaining as well. Henry the Gizmo Williams. Here we go.
Henry the Gizmo Williams entered this season as the CFL's all-time leader in punt return touchdowns. So all he does this year is set another record by returning 5 more punts for touchdowns. He's an exciting performer on the field, but at home he's just your average guy.
During football season, I like to go home and watch TV. I bought a 50-inch screen TV and a satellite, so I just like to watch TV. During the off-season, I like to try to play all kind of sports, run track, basketball, and swim. That's basically what I do during the off-season, but just like I say during the season, Rick, most of the time just go home and just watch TV.
The TSN Hits of the Week are brought to you by the all-new Subaru SVX. Test drive one at a Subaru dealer today. It wasn't a hard-hitting game in Calgary. In fact, this is the only hit worth showing. Robin Belanger nails David Sapungis, who hangs onto the ball anyway. But in Winnipeg, there were plenty of good hits. Just ask Bomber QB Tom Burgess. Or ask him again. Come to think of it, it was a rough day for both quarterbacks. Damon Allen ought to know. Now watch Scott Flegel here as he hammers Rick House. Boom! And continues to demonstrate that he's one of the league's toughest hitters. But hey, Scott, if you give, don't you think you should receive? I mean, that'd be fair. Watch the right side of your screen. Now you see him. Now you don't. My goodness, a thunderous hit by the Bombers' Alfred Payton. Woozy is an understatement for the way Scott Flegel felt after receiving the TSN Hit of the Week.
I'm glad I don't play that game.
No question about that.
All right, well, it's time for a break here. What's coming up next?
Next, stay tuned, because we have one of the most exciting running backs in the CFL, Reggie Taylor. Be right back.
Hey, you're not bad at that, you know? You should do that for a living.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, didn't it feel good? He's here, baby. You know, it's natural.
We coming to T.O., baby. And we coming to win. So, Rocket, you better have your jets on, baby. T.O., we coming at you, baby. We coming at you. You better see that defense. I want y'all to know about that defense, baby. Hey, Mark.
It's a festival atmosphere in the Argo dressing room. 5 days and counting to the Eastern Division final as Toronto will play host to Winnipeg at Skydome. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the CFL Report, coming to you this week from the Argo dressing room where the music is on and the team is confident. But let's switch our attention now to the Western Division. And a great semifinal game last weekend. The Calgary Stampeders home to the BC Lions, and the Stamps win a thriller.
1 year ago, no one expected the BC Lions to make the playoffs. No one, of course, but the BC Lions. The Calgary Stampeders knew these Lions well. They'd defeated them 3 times already this season. The amazing rebirth of the Lions is the result of the efforts of many individuals. One of them, running back John Volpe, who may only stand 5'6", but was much larger in desire, as in early in this game, his hunger for the end zone propelled the Lions into a 31-15 halftime lead. Across the field, the CFL's leading receiver knew he had to take action. Alan Pitts did what he's done all year long, hauling in one of Danny Barrett's passes, then taking aim at the end zone, refusing to go down, and keeping the Stampeders in the game. Pitts and Barrett have been Calgary's heart and soul.
We were there before with these guys, 16-1 at BC Place against a very hostile crowd, and we were able to put that behind us. They came out on top in that game, and that's what we talked about at halftime. We've been down 16 points before the same team. Let's come out and play our style of football.
In the second half, Danny Barrett showed us his style of football. First, he finds Mustang-turned-Stampeder David Sapunjas. And then, moments later, Pee Wee Smith hauls in a picture-perfect pass. Playing his style of football, Danny Barrett would throw 5 touchdown passes. If these quick scores put the Lions on the brink of disaster, this fumble by Volpe in the Calgary 15 pushed them over. It was the pivotal play in the third quarter that saw the Stampeders outscore the Lions 28-3.
You know, I fumbled the ball going in on the 15-yard line, and that's for sure field goal, and that's the difference in the ball game right there.
Everything had begun to go wrong for the Lions and right for the Stampeders.
From beginning to end, we were moving the ball on first down, picking up good yardage, and staying in second and short, which is what we wanted to do. You know, you score 41 points, you expect to be in the ballgame.
A sad end to the season for Flutie, but a joyous triumph for quarterback Danny Barrett and the Calgary Stampeders, who won at 43-41. The Western Final is the Battle of Alberta for the second year running. Last year, the Eskimos defeated the Stampeders 43-23, as the Eskimos' offense racked up a whopping 588 total yards. This year, the teams have met 3 times, with the home team prevailing in each clash. Calgary must travel to Commonwealth Stadium this weekend, and for them, that's a problem. They've lost their last 13 games in Edmonton, a losing streak that extends all the way back to 1980. But maybe this is the year the Stampeders end all their losing streaks. After all, last week's win over BC was their first playoff victory in 12 years.
We haven't won in Edmonton for so many years, and again, Norm and I have only been here a few years. We can't be responsible for that. The thing that we're going to be responsible for is the team that we have today, and our team can go up to Edmonton and they will win.
Well, a man who knows all about playing in the West is Don Wilson, who spent a couple of years with the Edmonton Eskimos and knows how tough it is to win at Commonwealth Stadium. What do you think of the Western Final this weekend?
Well, you know, it's going to be a tough game. Edmonton's real good at home, and it's tough to play, and they're real cold in the grass. Ah! Oh, God! So it's going to be tough for Calgary to go in there and beat them.
Who do you think's going to win?
Well, my heart is with Edmonton, but I don't know. It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a good game.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to pick the upset. I'm going to take Calgary. They haven't won there in 11 years, but I'm going to take Calgary. Let's see what John and Leaf think will happen in the Western Final.
You see, Leaf, I can see what Gord is saying. You can't go 0 forever in any ballpark. The Stampeders are due for a break, don't you think?
Due for a break. Come on. How about last weekend? Andy McVeigh catches a tip pass for a touchdown, big break. He fumbles going into the end zone on a running play. Keevan Jenkins recovers for a touchdown. They used all the breaks that they're going to get last weekend.
So you say there is absolutely no way the Stampeders can upset the Eskimos?
No, don't put words in my mouth. They have a chance to win, but as far as, they better not rely on breaks. They better do it with solid football.
Weaknesses on the Eskimos. You say there aren't any.
You know, I look at their team and I go through all the categories and I try and find a weakness. You know how many there are? Zippity-doo-dah. None. Not one. Best running game, best kick return game, and a defense. Everybody talks about Tracy Ham and the offense and these guys, but a defense that is as solid as any other defense in the league.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to agree on this. 2 ticks for the Edmonton Eskimos who'll beat Calgary in the Western Final.
In a walk.
Well, I know I'll hear it from my old friends in Edmonton for picking Calgary this weekend. Just a hunch, though. One of the guys who will have a lot to say about who wins that football game is Reggie Taylor, the outstanding Edmonton running back. This week, Behind the Mask with Reggie Taylor.
He stands a mere 5'6" and weighs just 175 pounds. Yet Edmonton running back Reggie Taylor is one little man who's made his mark in a big man's game.
Even though I'm 175 pounds, you know, I've been this way basically for the last, especially professional, for the last 5 years, or even in college. So, you know, I've been playing, and even growing up in high school, I've been playing with a lot of guys that are taller than me. And I just tend, with me, I just tend to use my quickness and speed, and you know, and that's my asset.
Joining Taylor in the Eskimos' backfield is fullback Blake Marshall. Together, they form the CFL's most potent running back combination. Marshall, the brute force, and Taylor, speed and finesse.
You know, I don't create holes, I find holes, you know what I mean? You know, that's I think if you want somebody to create holes, you got to look at Blake Marshall, and like you said, he's been doing a good job on short yardage and stuff like that, but you know, that's just not my forte.
Reggie's a big part of his offense. We need that explosive coming out the backfield. You know, we got big Blake up the middle for the short yardage, but we still need somebody with speed, and Reggie, you know, he gives up that speed in the backfield.
Taylor was a CFL All-Star 2 years ago and a Western All-Star last year despite missing a third of the regular season.
Last year when we lost him down the stretch, we lost the last 5 out of 6. We virtually had no running game, and with him we were the best offense in the league. So I think Reggie's different from us being the top offense in the league to going to just a mediocre offense.
Taylor came to the Eskimos from the BC Lions in 1988 as part of the Matt Dunnigan trade. He'd been with the Lions only 1 season. Before heading to Vancouver, Taylor starred at the University of Cincinnati, where he established no less than 7 school rushing records. Now, 4 years later, he's happy to be in Edmonton and glad to be playing football in the CFL.
I'm just waiting to see and just see how things turn out. But, you know, as long as success, you know, keep happening, you know, you want to play.
Reggie Taylor has run wild during his CFL career, and a man who knows him well is Argo head coach Adam Rada. Adam, you had Reggie Taylor as a BC Lion, but you liked him a long time before that.
Yes, I've been chasing him since high school. I coached at University of Hawaii, and he was at Linwood High School, and we tried to recruit him there, but he went to University of Cincinnati. We had a great career. I think he's the 6th leading all-time rusher in NC2A history, and we're fortunate to have him at BC.
Now, Adam, what do you think of the Western Final? Edmonton and Calgary, a traditional rivalry. What should be a good game?
Yeah, Battle of Alberta. I think it should be a shootout if the field conditions were as good as the other day or the Sunday that they played. I give the edge to Calgary, just a hair because of the defense. I think Calgary's playing a little bit better defense than the Eskimos. Then again, you might give them the edge because of the giz on special teams.
Come on, get off the fence, Adam.
Yeah, right. I chose Calgary.
Okay.
I like Ron Lancaster, but I like Wally Bono also. So, I mean, flip a coin.
Tell us about your club. You've had the week off in the Eastern playoffs. You concerned at all about the layoff?
No, I'm happy that we had a chance to have some rest. You know, I think that those problems are small compared to what we needed. We needed time off to get well, and you know, if we start off slower during the game, you know, we just got to finish fast.
Adam, thanks very much, and good luck on the weekend.
Okay, great.
Adam Rita, the head coach of the Argos. Time for a break here on the CFL Report, but before we go, let's look back at one of the great playoff games in CFL history.
When football fans in Canada remember the 1950 Grey Cup, they think of mud. The Mud Bowl Classic. Rookie head coach Frank Clare would lead the Toronto Argonauts against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and head coach Frank Larson. For both coaches, it was their first trip to a Grey Cup. Legend has it that Argo quarterback Al Dectebrun taped thumbtacks to his fingers of his passing hand and had them filed down to get a better grip on the ball. Indian Jack Jacobs quarterbacked the Blue Bombers in what was the fourth meeting in 6 years between these two clubs. A fake punt early in the game set up a Nick Volpe field goal to give the Argos an early 4-0 lead. Two of the game's most interesting moments have become a part of the Mud Bowl lore.
He gets the kick away, and it's very high, not too long. It's coming down here, and it hits the official right on the head.
And when this wacky affair was over with, the Toronto Argonauts had won at 13-0, taking the Mud Bowl, a part of Grey Cup history. Our play of the week comes from who else? Alan Pitts of the Calgary Stampeders, who makes a nice catch, then uses his speed, strength, and determination to find the end zone. Pitts shows us it takes plenty of effort as well as plenty of skill to make our TSN play of the week.
All right, that'll do it for this week on the CFL Report from the Argo dressing room. Wait a minute, Ricky, did I win here?
No, homie, don't play that.
Bail, Gord.
Oh.
No.
See ya.
You didn't even win.
Don't meet us there.
There's some irregularities going on here. We'll investigate those in a minute. First of all, fellas, what do you think of the Bombers this week?
Shut up and give me fit in. I thought what tell you about turning them dominoes over.
You heard it here first. That's it for this week on the CFL Report. We'll see you next week, everybody.